How's it going, everybody?
What's up? Happy weekend.
It's Danny Boy back with you. Bill, obviously.
Bill Corpus
Back,
Crispy Murphy here.
and I'm sorry about that, Bill. Back with you again. This is another edition of SIP on SIN's YouTube channel, episode 409. Um,
And
post
today's also a
and
special,
go ahead, Bill.
today's also a special day. You know what happened 5 years ago today?
Oh, it's our first episode. That's right.
Yeah, 5 years.
5 years.
Yeah.
It's been 5 years.
Yeah, we've been doing this show for 5 years.
Right. Crazy. Insane. Oh man. SIP premiered 5 years ago. Insane.
Yes.
Wow. Been a journey, buddy. And
Yes, it has.
couldn't have done it without you. Better person.
I couldn't have done it without you, buddy.
You know, glad to that we kept true to our promise. We bring the show
Yes, we
back
did.
and we certainly did in great fashion. So
And it survived for five
we
years.
survived for 5 years. I didn't even think we'd do 5 years, but here we are, and we're not stopping because of
Ain't
you.
no stopping us now.
Hey,
We're on the move.
hey. In any case, because of you guys, thank you for always supporting us. Your support helps us get through this. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We have a lot to talk about. Um, the Knicks take a series lead. We're excited about that. And then, of course, the NFL draft that was last night.
That was a
First
humdinger. The first
round.
round was a real humdinger.
Yeah. And of course, we also want to thank y'all for joining us on our live stream. Um, live stream was a success. We went for about maybe what 3, 4 hours.
Went for
On
about
the,
3.5. We went from when the
yeah,
draft started to about 11:30. So
yeah. Well, I was in and out, like I said, I would be, but um, yeah, no, the draft was the live show was successful. And we appreciate you for joining us. We're having a great time reacting to some things that surprised us. But in any case, we really, really do appreciate you joining us. It was great. Great to see all the fellas back together. Great to see the Patch Man. Great to see Rifkin and all them. So
yeah,
um,
for those who don't know, the Patch Man is still alive.
yeah, he is in hibernation, and I'm telling you, man, he loves that hibernation. You know, he's like his own species a little bit.
The Patch Man comes out of his room for about 8 hours a day.
uh,
But yeah, so what
Patchy, we love you. Thanks for
we
joining
love
us.
you,
We
Patch.
really did appreciate that, and we hope to see you more uh shows this season. Um, but yeah, man, no, this is it was a draft. Some surprises, I would have to say. Um, some that were pretty much expected as if it was like a movie script. So yeah, it was crazy. But just to recap, round one, at least the first 10 picks here. Obviously, big story. Cam Ward going number one to Tennessee. Um, the Titans need a quarterback, Bill.
Oh, absolutely. I think
And
everyone and their mothers predicted that.
yeah, and they needed it. And Ward is right there. He's obviously the best quarterback in the draft, and it's a no-brainer. So I'm glad that the Titans actually, didn't deviate from their plans. They knew exactly what they wanted, and they got the guy. So good for Tennessee. They hopefully have their future, uh, and all that.
Yeah, so they got their quarterback, and everyone predicted this. We all knew Cam Ward was going to Tennessee.
Yes.
You knew it. I knew it. Anyone with half a brain knows it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but then after that, the fun started.
Almost immediately, right?
We had the trade.
Hmm. Yeah.
We had
How
the
about
trade.
how about the Browns trading back? You know, they go to the fifth spot while the Jacksonville Jaguars move up to the two spot. And um Jacksonville gave up quite a bit. They acquired big. They obviously gave up the fifth pick, but they also gave up pick 36 and another big time picks that I don't know. But they get Travis Hunter. And that to me is worth the investment because of the type of player that he is. We talked about him being in that two-way role and being a dynamic player, being quick, he's the package. And if the obviously the Jaguars can use him how they please, but um, the fact that he's such an athlete could be a major boost for Jacksonville.
Yes.
So we hope that that works out as well. They did give up quite a bit. We hope that works out as well. And then, of course, the Giants at three. This was expected. Um, Abdul Carter going to New York at three. Um, and sure enough, um, their defense and Bill. I know the Giants had a pretty busy night, but what's your first reactions to this?
The Abdul Carter,
Yeah,
great pick.
yeah,
I actually, for some weird reason, I had them picking Travis Hunter, but I think this is a good pick. It's going to be a great addition to the defense.
yeah,
I am super excited. Abdul, welcome to New York.
yeah.
Welcome to New York, Abdul. You're going to look really good in giant blue.
Yeah. And he loves the
Yeah.
city, and that's another thing. If you like, if I mean, look, obviously, you still gotta prove that you can make it in New York. However, if you're gonna embrace the city, I mean, 100%, you're already uh good in my book. So, um, big time Abdul Carter going to uh the G-Men. Then of course the Patriots got Will Campbell from LSU. He's the
They're
offensive
going to need
tackle.
that. Like, they need someone to protect
Mhm.
Drake May.
Yep. With that trade, the Browns chose Mason Graham. We kind of went back and forth on it, on the draft reaction. Um, while I understand. Hey, look, you need defensive tackle, you need all this. While I understand trading all those picks, and look, the Browns got stuff back, so it's not like they lost it, they actually gained. But to get Mason Graham, to me, made made sense. However, I would have gone with the better player in Abdul Carter. That's just me. I would have gone with the better player in Travis Hunter. That's just me. So while they made the trade and they absolutely, in my opinion, fleeced the Jaguars, um, I just don't know if Mason Graham was the pick, but I guess he's the best defensive tackle they had available. So I don't know.
Not like to me, this was a split thing. Because on one hand, you are in a position to get either Travis Hunter or
Like,
Abdul Carter,
yeah, that's the thing, you
two
know.
of the best players in the draft.
Yeah,
You are in a position to get either Hunter or Carter, and you're just going to trade down. Like, that was crazy.
yeah,
But kind of understand if the Browns do get more picks. But again, you could have had Travis Hunter.
yeah. but like I said, they did actually get a lot from Jacksonville. So that's why, on the Brown side of it, I think they certainly got the edge over it. But I don't know, like to me, like this draft's about superstars, right? Travis Hunter has a chance to be a superstar in his league. So whatever. We move on.
Yeah, so number six, the Raiders. Ashton Genty from Boise State.
Yeah. And look, the more the week went on, the more it became very clear that the Raiders were eyeing a running back. So, um, it's still a bold move, but certainly something that could change the franchise. They have enough pieces, and Pete Carroll. Let's see how he runs his offense. Let's see how he runs it with Gino and everything. Yeah, I don't know. It's a bold move, but something that apparently a lot of people support. So Vegas gets their big time running back, hopefully for many years, and don't make the mistake the Giants made and draft the running back only to not bring him back after rookie contract.
I know, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, thank you for reminding me, Reg.
Well,
Thank you for reminding me.
hey. Your Giants actually had a good night, so you don't be mad at me. In
Yeah,
any case,
don't worry. We'll get to the other good move in a bit.
yeah,
So the Jets, Armin Menbu.
yes. Uh, Not my preferred choice, but it was a position of need, so that's why I'm not mad at it. And he is a great player. And look, the Jets needed a tackle. Like, they've lost tackles in free agency. One retired, so it was time to uh beef it up a little bit, bring someone that's younger, someone that has a good mindset. Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji seem to love this guy. This guy seems to love Aaron Glenn. So, and he's a hard worker. Puts him at right tackle. We needed one. So, right now the Jets, they have shored up their offensive line. Hopefully from, a long time coming. So,
Oh,
um,
absolutely,
and
because you
then
need someone who's
obviously,
going to protect Justin Fields.
right, and then that's the big thing. We gotta make sure we're protecting Justin Fields here because he's gonna need it. Justin Fields is not that he can't throw, but he is definitely more run first. So if that's the case, then it's not even a question. We have to make sure he gets protected very well. So let's see. Look, and obviously we don't know. Um, Tackles are interesting, but no, I'm confident in this guy. I'm all in on the pick, so let's go. My preference, obviously, as Bill knows, was Tyler Warren. I have maintained that for a while now, but it's okay. We'll take the
Because you know,
tackle, we'll take the position of need, and you know, move forward and try to build a great offense.
you know what's actually funny, and I brought this up yesterday during the live stream. We both predicted our own team picks wrong. Predicted Travis Hunter for the Giants. He predicted Tyler Warren for the Jets. But we got each other's team right. You said the Giants were going to draft Abdul Carter. I said the Jets were going to draft
Uh,
Lamar Mbu. We were
yeah,
both right on that one.
yeah. That is insane to think about it that way.
Yeah. The Carolina Panthers have drafted Victoria McMillan from Arizona. And you know what? Good pick.
Yeah, Ted McMillan, I expect him to go later, but um, no, I mean it's a good pick. You're trying to get a wide receiver, boom, he can be very explosive.
Yeah, and you know what? You're also giving Bryce Young weapons because
Yeah, And
Because we all know David Tepper knows absolutely nothing because he keeps, because that thing he did 2 years ago when he basically gave away the house for the number one pick for Bryce Young.
oh, I mean, look, Bryce Young still has time, and now that he has a receiver on his hands, he's been working with him too. So they have some type of chemistry built up already. Maybe not. I don't know, but the fact that there's some familiarity there, good choice. It's a good choice for Carolina. Number nine, Kelvin Banks Jr. to New Orleans. He's from Texas. He's an offensive tackle. I had him going late, a little later, maybe like two picks later. I had him going to San Francisco.
I had
Um,
him going much later. I had him going to Los Angeles.
yeah. Um, they ended up San Francisco taking the edge guy, Michael Williams. Uh,
Yes,
but
from Georgia.
from Georgia, but yeah. So, but I mean, look, good choice. Me and Bill thought quarterback, but they want to take the offensive tackle, so they're not quite worried about quarterback right now. It doesn't mean that they won't pick one. It just means they're not worried about it right now. So, yeah, I mean, Banks Jr. rising in the rankings, so and he was very impressive with the scouts. So, uh, that's it. And then of course they're rounding out the top 10. Colston Loveland. This one was shocking.
Oh,
Um,
I had him going. I had Colson Loveland going to Los Angeles.
yeah, and then but he goes to the Bears at number 10, which again is fine, but to me, Tyler Warren was everyone's better player, and he ends up going to Indianapolis. Interesting. It was just very interesting. But let's see if it works out for um Chicago. I wouldn't have taken Loveland there. Loveland's a great player, don't get me wrong, but Warren's the guy. If you if you're trying to get a big time tight end in the top 10. All right. Well, that's the top 10. Um the big news obviously within this first round, no Shador Sanders.
No, and part of me is shocked. But I was talking to my dad this morning, and he said he's not shocked that Shador didn't go in the first round.
Yeah, it's it's not shocking, but it's very disappointing because Shador Sanders, I look, people have been hyping him up as a first round quarterback, whether it's top 10 or whether it's top 25, right?
Bro.
So it's very disappointing that the teams don't see Shador like we see him. We're not saying that he's the best quarterback in the world. We're saying he's in the first round. But now it seems like he's sliding into the second, maybe third round. And that can be pretty frustrating for someone that really worked his ass off. Look, granted, look, he has there is some Nepo baby vibes with him, right? But
Oh yeah, like every other commercial last night, I feel like was Dion and Shador. Please
yeah.
pick my son. Please pick my son.
Yeah, and like I said, Nepo baby vibes, that of course it's there, but that doesn't mean that he's a bad quarterback. Like he played very well with his dad over in Boulder, right? Like he deserves to be an NFL quarterback. Like he worked his ass off to make sure to get there. So it was very disappointing. I'm not surprised, but it's very disappointing that teams don't see him the way we see him. Like we watched him play.
But you know what it is, though, Reg? They had him at a 3% chance still being available after the first round. They thought he was going to be picked, 97% chance he was going to get picked.
Right.
in the first round. But the second, dude, I gotta tell you, you know why I don't think they, why nobody picked him? And I'm gonna be straight up honest with you. I don't think they want to deal with the whole circus with Dion.
Right, but he's his own guy. Like, you can't. That's actually a pretty good question, though. Like,
Because you know he's gonna try
do
to, you know he's gonna try to sneak in and, excuse me. You know he's gonna try to sneak in
right,
and potentially get a head coaching NFL job next year.
but the coach's son, I wouldn't worry about that. If that's what you're thinking.
But you know he's gonna find some way to cause drama, Dion, because he's Dion Sanders.
But but is it bad drama or good drama though?
Is any drama good?
It can be. You ever watch reality TV?
Oh,
In,
touche, my friend, touche.
in any case, very disappointing. Like I expected a lot better from these teams, but look, for the most part, it seems like teams took a position of need rather than go after the big time quarterback. So,
Because you know what it was?
and
Like,
that's
if you
another
ask
thing.
me,
A lot of teams pick a position of need. Like a lot of
if
these
you go
teams,
back, if you go back 2 months ago, I would have said Shador Sanders would have been top five, hands down.
right?
But over the past couple weeks, dude, look what's been happening over the
Well,
last few weeks.
he's been sliding. He's
He was
been,
sliding. Some people say, okay, maybe he'll still be a top 10.
yeah,
And then there were people who had him as low as 21,
yeah.
going to the Steelers at 21. So he was sliding. And you know what yeah, so Shador is still on the board.
Yeah, still out there for anything that he's a quarterback. And I just hope it. I just hope it doesn't turn out to be. Oh, let's have a big time team in the NFL that's always good. Pick Shador Sanders and then just not play him. Like I hope that's not the case for him. I really hope that he goes to a team that actually needs a quarterback. But let's see. We don't know.
You know
Um,
who he kind of reminds me of? Kind of reminds me of with Johnny Manziel. We talked about this last night. With
yeah,
back when we were in the old DCC radio days. Me, Danny Boy Reg, the Patch Man, and our good friend Eric Ford, Big Brother. We were just texting each other that whole night. Like, did anyone pick Johnny Manziel yet? Did anyone pick Johnny Manziel yet? Going, they haven't picked him yet. And I remember I passed out for like an hour and I was woke up and I was thinking I was gonna see so and so team drafts Johnny Manziel. And I remember I think it was Eric who texted, he's still on the board.
right.
For every time we joke said, every time they show Manziel or mention him, take a drink. I'm like, don't do that. You will be dead by the end of this broadcast. And then that's when Cleveland picked him. So yeah, Shador Sanders sort of giving me Johnny Manziel vibes.
Yeah, but Johnny Manziel, he went in the first round.
Yeah, so he's worse than Johnny Manziel vibes.
Yeah. I don't know. Like the Shador hate to me is a bit extreme. I'm not saying he's going to be a great quarterback. We don't know anything about quarterbacks in the NFL until we actually see it, right? Just look at the class of 21, all those remember all those quarterbacks in the class of
Yeah.
21? And uh only a few of them are actually going to start Justin Fields. But the the Shador hate, the negativity, the fear, it's too much. It's a little too much. And I just hope that whoever scoops him up, maybe the Jets, I don't know, he's there. Um, Whoever scoops him up, they scoop him up because they need a quarterback for the future, and they can actually groom him. But let's see what happens. One person that was taken over Shador, Jackson Dart. How about that, Billy
Of
Boy?
the New York Football Giants.
How about that?
Bro.
I expected Jackson Dart to go in the first round.
Now there
Uh,
was talk that Jackson Dart was gonna that the Giants were gonna trade up.
yeah,
And they did.
yeah.
I think they gave a little too much, I'll be honest.
Yet they get their quarterback, and a lot of people don't agree with me when I say this. I think Shane and Dable bought themselves at least 2 years. You gotta give them 2 years on this.
Because you know what it is? We said this last night. When Dable came to New York, he was basically given when Dable and Shane came to New York, they were basically given the Gettleman leftovers.
Right.
Daniel Jones was a leftover from the Gettleman era. Now Dable can build and mold his own quarterback. He doesn't have to reprogram. He can now mold his quarterback in what he wants. So that's what I think that is a good move. But we all know Dart's not going to start right away.
No, 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 no. Look, you have Russell Wilson, you have Jameis. Rifkin also made a great point that Jameis is now expendable a little bit. I don't know to what degree, but we don't know how they're gonna do that. But he does become a little bit expendable. So, just another point to throw out there. Um, I expect Jackson Dart to at least sit for a while. I don't know if he'll probably be third string. Probably definitely over DeVito. Um,
There's talk that DeVito's already asking for a trade.
he don't want to deal with it. He's like, wait, I just re-signed and you're gonna draft a quarterback? Get me the fuck out of here.
Tommy.
Tommy, you didn't work out. Okay.
Yeah, you had your 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah,
You had your 15 minutes of fame.
yeah.
We're sorry, buddy. It didn't work out.
It's over. It's over.
We thank you for your service to our
Yeah.
organization.
Well, but
We
this is
thank you
not
for
this
your
is not
service to your.
look, we're not here to for your Jersey juice and your stupid ass agent and your family,
It,
and
it was fun while it
it was a
lasted.
feel good story. But
It was fun while it lasted. And like, listen, I've even said I like Tommy DeVito because with his family, because you all know why I like them. They're like us. They're normal working class folks.
yeah,
They're not, they're they're not some big, basically puffed up celebrities in which their football player's son is dating a pop star or the biggest pop star on earth. They're just normal, relatable, working class folk. But like, here's the thing: it was just a feel good story. It was basically the equivalent of those chain emails. Do people still send chain emails
yeah.
that your aunt sends you to make you give you a little smile? Tommy, it's over. Like, we had fun with you while we lasted. We had a good time. It's just that now we gotta move on. We gotta be serious here. We can't have any more of this Jersey juice nonsense.
And again, hopefully,
People's jobs are on the line right now, Tommy. People's jobs are on the line. Because
uh,
I said this last night. I said before they drafted Jackson Dart, I'm like saying if Shane and Dable don't get this right, they're gone.
yeah.
They are Gone gone. But now I don't know. Do you think, let's say the Giants don't play Jackson Dart this year and they stick with Russell Wilson
Mhm.
and the Giants have another abysmal season. Is Shane and Dable's heads on the chopping block?
Well, let's see if it works out first. That's what I'll say.
Like, I think you should play Dart sometime this year because, like I said, you got Wilson who's washed up, Winston who's washed up. You need someone. Dable is trying to mold his
Yeah.
franchise quarterback. Again, I said this. He got him and Shane got leftovers from the Judge Gettleman era
Yeah.
with Daniel Jones, and now they're like, okay, we have our guy. Ryan Dable has his quarterback. He's going to mold his quarterback into the new franchise quarterback with Jackson Dart. And people are pointing out, where did Jackson Dart go to school? Where did he go?
Well, Ole Miss, yes.
And who else went to Ole Miss?
Yeah, but we're not doing that. But I get it. Joe Shane, his daughter went there. Eli went there. We get it. We get it. We're not doing that.
Oh, come on. Like,
We're not doing that.
it's a fun connection.
It is a fun connection, but it's no. That doesn't guarantee anything.
Someday we'll find it. The Ole Miss connection with Eli and Jackson and me. But no, but I was on giant Facebook groups last night. People are very split about this.
Well, they're split because they don't know what they're gonna get out of Jackson Dart. That's why they're split.
The people who are like, yeah, this was a great pick. Giants did smart. Good job, Joe Shane. Well done. And the rest are saying, this was terrible. Why did we pick Shador Sanders? Again, I just don't want the drama. You should have just picked with the O line. Did they give a little too much? Yeah, I think they gave away a little too much.
Yeah.
And I think maybe when you have another pick,
But
you
but but
should
you get
focus on.
but you get your pick though. So
I'm just,
it's okay.
yeah, hey, we got who we needed.
Right.
And like there was talk, I remember Mark said that yesterday morning the Giants were talking with Jackson Dart. So you knew that they were okay after we get Abdul Carter at number three later on, because there were not a lot of quarterback needed teams at this point.
Right.
There were no quarterback needed teams at this point, Reg. Everyone before them had a QB. So we are now at the point in which are the New York Giants. Now we're at this point, like Giants got Jackson Dart. What's going to be the future? What's going to be the future? I'm unsure. You're unsure. Who knows at this point, you know?
Exactly. Well, one thing's for sure, Giants got a quarterback, and let's see if it all works out for them. And it'll be very interesting to see. But hey, I think it's a risky move, and I like the risky moves, by the Giants. And again, like I think Shane and Dable bought themselves 2 years. That's just me. I think they bought themselves 2 years. All right,
Because like even if they,
go ahead.
I'll just say this before we move on, because not, but because I'll say this, like even if Dart doesn't play this year, Giants are abysmal. Maybe they'll go, okay, we'll give you guys an another year, but here's our deal. You got to play Jackson Dart.
Right.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. So night two of the draft begins tonight. It's rounds two and three, correct?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So uh yeah. Let's see what happens in night two. Pretty exciting. And then
All right,
the rest of the draft will happen Saturday, rounds four through seven. So um all weekend long we'll have draft coverage for you. And
so where is Shador going? Is he going second round, third round, fourth round? Where do you think he's going, Reggie?
I think he'll go in the second round.
To whomst?
I don't know. I don't know.
You know what? I'm thinking maybe New Orleans.
You still on New Orleans?
I'm still on New Orleans. I think
Okay.
he might go to New Orleans. I could be wrong.
I don't know. Pittsburgh needs a quarterback, man. They're probably not going to take it, but Pittsburgh needs a quarterback.
I mean, did you notice last night only two quarterbacks were taken in the first round?
That's another big thing. Yeah.
Only this is not really as a big quarterback heavy draft as people would think it, as it usually is. Last night, only two. Cam Ward and Jackson Dart were the only two quarterbacks that were picked last night.
Well, it wasn't a quarterback heavy class. Oh, it's a quarterback heavy class, but it's not like the class isn't great for
Because
quarterback.
last year we had Caleb Williams, we had Jaden Daniels, we had
Right.
Drake Bay.
So this isn't a great class. It's a heavy QB class, but it isn't great QB class.
I agree with you.
Interesting.
Totally agree.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's where we stand right now. Draft round two is tonight on ESPN. Draft two is tonight on ESPN. Round two is tonight on ESPN. Looking forward to it. You?
I'm looking forward to it. I have no choice. I have to watch it. So, you know.
So yeah, NFL draft. Love it.
All
All
right.
right, moving right along.
So we move on. The New York Knicks. Um,
Go New York, go New York, go!
they did win. Uh,
Yay!
it was very close, 118, 116. Very the Pistons down the stretch were rallying to try to catch up and take the lead, and they almost did. But of course, the Knicks making the big time plays, big time hoops, sinking the foul shots when they needed to. And this is just a great game. Um, for the Knicks. They were able to get everything going. And look, it was a back and forth and fair pretty much all night. But the Knicks prevail. Brunson 30 points. Cade Cunningham, who's actually having a very good series, had 24 points on the night. Uh Mikal Bridges had 20. Karl Anthony Towns had 31. Um OG Anunoby had 22. And then, like I said, on the Detroit side, Tim Hardaway, who's been solid this series, um, 24 points, along with Kate Cunningham's 24. Knicks big stars coming up huge in this game. Karl Anthony Towns, um, doing his thing, 31 points, finally scoring after didn't doing not doing much in game two. Um, Mikal Bridges getting involved, OG getting involved. This is exactly what you need the Knicks to do in order to win. You need to get your big time starters in there, and they certainly did that. Good job. But how about this, Bill? Um, at the end of the game, there was an inbounds. The refs were terrible again, but in the inbounds to Jalen Brunson, they were trying to go to the backcourt. Jalen Brunson touched the ball in there on the Knicks side of the court and then proceeds to go. It was very obvious. Proceeds to go to the Pistons side of the court. And for those of you that don't know, that's a backcourt violation. And it was very
It
clear
is.
cut backcourt violation. And the refs missed it. And look, while I obviously, as a Knicks fan, I'm not going to complain about it because the Knicks got away with it. They ended up winning. That could have been a major swing there because I think the Pistons, I think they were only down by what, like no more than 3 points or whatever. I forget what was the score at that point, but it was so close that could have put in possession where the Pistons either made it close, took the lead there. Like it's like it was a major blunder by the refs who were again who they've been horrible this series, the refs. Um, but man, I mean that was something that cost the Pistons a major shot at trying to win this game. So, and yet again, like I said, the Pistons, they were in a major rally down the stretch, so that certainly killed it. But Knicks got away with that one and took the win. Of course, like I said, I'm not complaining, but I do have to acknowledge that was pretty bad.
No, that was pretty damn bad.
Yeah. So, but
So
Knicks win though, and they take a 2-1 lead in the series. Two more games to go. Two more games to win, excuse me, and hopefully the Knicks could close out the series as soon as possible. The Oklahoma City Thunder won their game. They take a 3-0 series lead, 114-108 the final score. Gilgeous-Alexander had 31 points on the day. Grizzlies in massive trouble. Of course, this is not shocking. The Thunder are the best team in the West, so but you know, Grizzlies hanging on as much as they can. And then of course the Clippers absolutely obliterating the Nuggets 117
yes,
3. The Clippers taking a 2-1 lead in the series. So Nuggets still have time to make something happen, but I mean that's a big win for LA.
yeah. So that's where we are right now. NBA playoffs are in full swing.
Full swing for sure. We still have a slate of games tonight. Celtics, Magic, Pacers, Bucks, Lakers, Timberwolves, Celtics, Magic. That's the first game of the slate. Uh Pacers, Bucks, they play an hour later, uh at 8 o'clock, and then the late games, the Lakers, Timberwolves. So pretty exciting stuff for sure.
Oh, it is exciting stuff.
Yep. And then of course we in DC, we're keeping an eye on the Washington Capitals. I'm not cheering for the Capitals. I want the Capitals to lose. I'm rooting for the chaos, as you know. That's how I roll. But of course, we're keeping an eye on the Capitals because they're in the playoffs and they have taken a commanding 2-0 lead in the series over the Montreal Canadiens. Um, so that's something that we're keeping an eye on for sure. DC fans are going wild for the Capitals right now.
Especially this year with especially with the with Ovechkin.
Yeah,
It's been a fun time to be a Capitals fan, hasn't it?
very fun, very fun. Again, I'm not rooting for them. I don't care about them. I seriously don't care if they win or lose. Uh, but you know me, I will root for chaos all day, every day.
You just want chaos.
Not just for the Capitals, but I'll look the Canadians chaos too. If the Canadians feel miserable, good. But it would be very nice to see the Capitals be miserable. I want everyone to be miserable. I want the Devils to be miserable, So yeah, no. These teams that are in the playoffs right now for the NHL, I don't care about. You know,
No, I don't blame you.
I don't care about. If the Rangers can
I
have
don't
it,
blame
why
you.
should any of these teams have
100% agree.
it? Yeah.
100% agree. But yeah, so NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs, NFL draft. What a fun time to be alive right now, don't you
It
think?
is so much fun, dude. So
Let's
much
have
fun.
some damn fun.
Yep. Um, Mets are off to a great start. We'll see
Yep.
how, we'll see how they continue this massive uh massive start that they're on. I believe they are winners of the last seven. So um streak hopefully continues tonight. Uh they face the Nationals. The Yankees will face the Blue Jays. So
After losing 2 out of 3 to Cleveland.
how horrible is that?
Oh, that's terrible, bro. That
uh,
is freaking terrible.
uh, oh God.
Hey, but we got a nice homestand coming up.
Yeah.
We got a nice long homestand coming up. And don't forget, folks, Bombers Banter coming soon.
Hmm.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was thinking sometime next week. Um,
Okay.
that or when I'm away, because I'm gonna be away from work. Um,
When are
birthday
you going to be away?
birthday week. So we can possibly do maybe
Well,
that Sunday or Monday.
May 7th through the 10th, I'm going to be away. So,
So Sunday or Monday, because that's the fourth and the fifth.
okay, we can do one of those days.
We'll let you all know when
We will keep
Bombers
you
Banter.
posted.
Yeah. Um, and look, it could be sooner than that, or it could be that
We
Sunday.
could do one tonight for all we know. Who knows?
If you want the notifications for when we do go live for that Bombers Banter, it's fairly simple. Just hit that
Hit that
notification
bell.
bell.
Hit
You
it,
know,
baby. Hit it.
like right there. It's very simple. Just click on it. You can also subscribe. You get
That's always fun. Subscribe.
you'll not only get these shows, but you'll get past shows as well. So, we're always live now.
We're always live.
And
You
of
can't
course,
get rid of us.
watch our recap of the draft. We reacted to the draft, you know.
Yes.
So log on to our YouTube page. It's right there. Boom, boom. You know?
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah. And then, of course, just follow our socials, log on to our website. We really appreciate you. We love you. We thank you for joining us. 5 years, Bill.
5 years, baby. Half a decade.
You want to make it another five?
Let's do it.
Let's see how long.
Road to 10 begins.
God.
God, it's been a big year for us. 405 years.
Yeah,
And it's only April.
crazy.
Been a big year.
Uh, all right, folks. That does it for us. I'm Danny Boy.
I'm Bill Corpus Crispy Murphy.
All right, peace and love.
Stay safe and take care.